Welcome.
Welcome to our living room.
Yes.
So today we are going to be talking a little bit more about our morning routine. So why we do them, what they mean to us, and little snippets of what we do in the morning to get ourselves ready and present for the day.
It's beautiful.
It's really beautiful.
And it doesn't have to be complicated too.
No.
I mean, that's one of the things we want to touch on is that a morning routine can be a 10-minute moment to yourself in the beginning of the day. It's unique to you. So it's whatever makes you feel like and juicy and supported and nourished and like, let's do this.
So, as part of each of our 3 routines, we actually all participate in some hygiene activities, which is very important. We have our own form of meditation, and we participate in some kind of embodiment activity, and we also have some kind of hot beverage. In most cases, multiple hot beverages.
Yes, all the time.
Yeah. And some sun time, which, luckily we live in a very sunny state. In terms of hygiene, me, for example, I wake up in the morning and first thing I do when I get out of bed is I go and put the hot water on. And this poor hot water machine, I'm so glad that it's still alive because it is used. It's not abused because
At
it's
least
lovingly
20 times
used.
a day.
Yeah.
At least.
So I go and I turn that on, and while I'm waiting for it to heat up, I go to the bathroom and I brush my teeth. I use a Goodwill toothbrush. It has a replaceable brush, and the reason why I like it is because it's a charcoal brush, and the entire brush is compostable, so I can just
Amazing.
toss it in the compost after the time that it's done. And I also use the Avoca toothpaste, which I don't know why it's so good. You'd have to ask these two about it, but they suggested it to me, and I really enjoy it. So I use that, and if the hot water is still taking its time, which sometimes it is because it's cold in the morning, I'll also wash my face in that time, and I use this face wash that a dear friend at the Alembic Apothecary here on Ohlone territory in what is called Berkeley. Did I say the name of it? Alembic is the name, okay? But his name is B, and he made it for me. So I use that. I wash my face with some hot water, and then I'll rub in some kind of serum, vitamin E, and do a face massage with it, and just tap some cold water afterwards, which I'm such a cold-bodied person that I'm surprised at how much joy I find in that part of the process.
I'm going to try that.
It's so nice.
It helps with your nervous system too.
Cold water.
So yeah, that's my typical hygiene routine in the morning.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we typically cross paths when Mona is heating up water and I'm going from my room down into my bathroom. I'm still learning to be more of a morning person. I feel like I wake up more often feeling like I want to redo the sleep that I had the night before and be like, next day I'm going to wake up feeling really energized. So the cold water actually is really helpful. I do that first thing, makes my eyes open a little more. And then I have the mental energy to go grab some coconut oil for oil pulling, and I add a little xylitol in there because it makes my teeth less sensitive. But that's usually where I'll come across Krisha in the kitchen, and we'll both be...
Pass the spoon.
Yeah.
And I'll get some oil to oil pull as well.
Then you say hello, and you can't talk when you're oil pulling, right? Because your mouth is full of oil, like, love you so much. Yeah, hugs. Like,
That's a cute good morning. Smile.
like this swooshing noise, too. It's very sweet.
And why is oil pulling so important? I know it's an Ayurvedic practice, which is why I do it, but...
It's helpful because think of overnight, your bodies are detox. Our bodies, my body too, are detoxing. And so I had a teacher once tell me that our mouths in the morning are like if a teenager had a party the night before. It's like there's things everywhere. It's gross. And so oil pulling will stick to the toxins and the bacteria in our mouth. And so when we spit out the oil, which is important, you're not swallowing it, you spit it out after 5 to 10 minutes of swishing it around. it's going to be binding to those toxins, and then you're sort of cleaning house at the end of it.
And then you brush teeth afterwards, and your mouth feels amazing. Really, really pearly white teeth.
Mm-hmm. Look at those.
I know.
Yes.
Ew.
I also use a Boca. We all use Boca. Thanks to our science whiz over here, we learn all the best ways to take care of ourselves. And Boca has hydroxyapatite, right?
Yes, girl. Yes.
Which helps to remineralize teeth.
Yes.
Ew.
Yes.
Ew.
Oh, wow. And she also introduced this toothbrush called, I think it's Dr. Plotka's toothbrush, and I don't know why it's so amazing, but I feel like I don't need to floss. I still floss, but I go in and floss, and it's like there's no food debris in my mouth. So we'll be sharing links to our amazing teeth care products.
Mm-hmm. They're important. And the things that people don't really talk about. So our routine, starting with hygiene, because it's important. And those Dr. Plotkas also have silver in them so that bacteria is not growing overnight when they're drying, which for someone who's like a low-grade germaphobe like me, I'm like, phew, that's good. Okay. We can start our day now.
we can get into Gannon's low-grade germophobia.
Maybe never.
Sometime later.
Another time. But I was going to say, one more thing that we both do is tongue scraping, which is another Ayurveda practice, and it's one that you will not see pictures of, unlike other parts of our morning routine, because it's literally scraping with typically like a copper piece of like a U-shaped wire, scraping the top of your tongue, which is really gross, but also really great to like get that off and start your day.
Feel the difference in the cleanliness, and a lot of the bad breath actually comes from the tongue. So by cleaning that, you're eliminating chances of that completely.
And then we can give each other like big hugs because we've already done the morning routine.
Hi!
Breathing all up in each other's faces. And it's so pleasant. Don't you also do some neti pot action in the morning sometimes?
I have some sensitivities in my sinuses, and I do have allergies here in the Bay Area, and I've been using neti pot with a saline solution and rinsing almost every day, and I feel this clarity. That's something I also do while oil pulling or before, and this sense of clarity and ability to breathe, which has been really nice.
And I both have individual practices of gua sha or facial rolling. Sometimes gua sha is a beautiful stone that you use to sort of massage the face, especially in accordance with the lymph. I'm going like this because you go up throughout in different motions that basically help with our lymphatic activity, like getting the body pumping and all the things out. But sometimes I get really lazy and I don't want to wash my gua sha after each one, so I just have started using my hands and my fingertips like a little manual massage. And it's really nice to do while oil pulling. It also is nice to like touch the face.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to do also with some oil. Just like make sure that it's lubricated. So when you're, doing those motions with your hand, or I use the tool, the gua sha, it's a really luxurious feeling of whatever that's massaging your face, moving things around. And I think it's better for your skin in that way.
Yeah. If you are going to buy gua sha products or want to learn about gua sha, please do so from a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. One person who sells it and who has great information about it is on Instagram at Lumini Wellness, and we'll put that below. Please make sure that you are practicing these traditions and learning these traditions from practitioners whose ancestry is of this tradition. It's very, very important because they're offering all of the history that comes along with it. And a lot of people who are just saying, "Oh yeah, it's really great," they're teaching you some things that may actually be harmful because they don't know the whole history around it. So we'll again put that in the notes below and check it out.
Thanks for sharing that.
So after hygiene, well, I don't know about y'all, I have a hot drink first. The best way to get my body going, my digestive system going first thing in the morning is to have hot water, and I just put a little honey with it. And so I'll sit down with that first thing in the morning, and I have like a really nice practice with it. Like I hold the hot water in different parts of my body and just feel the heat of the mug on my body. tune in and feel the heat of the hot water going through my body, and it's really pleasant to just like, oh, we're here. And I've realized, like, when I was waiting for my hot water to boil, I would just be sitting on my phone or something, like checking my email first thing in the morning, or like looking at the news. But this practice, instead of like hygiene while I wait and then do the hot water, has been so nourishing. And it's just, we all have these tendencies to be on our phone, and it's just really nice to, like, we're not there yet. Like, this is all about here.
One thing I think we're all really good about is not using any technology in the morning during our routines, and keeping that as a sacred time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, having that last foster cat really nailed it home for me, because at any time she would be near me and I had the phone out or my computer, she'd be like, no. I was like, wow, this cat knows.
Animals know. They
Get
don't
it,
like,
Tater
they
Tot.
don't like the technology.
Yeah.
Tater Tot knows best.
That was her name. Potato.
Potato, what's her name? Cutie. Yeah.
So I feel like that's a way to get embodied too. Is like feeling the hot drink against your body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one thing that we all incorporate in our morning routines, is some way of getting into the body. Embodiment is, really something we talk about a lot in this house. And for me, that looks like either stretching, having like slow, deep stretches while listening to some, meditative music, or practicing yoga. One thing I've really liked doing recently is Abhyanga, which is another Ayurvedic practice of self-oil massage. It's so luxurious. I have a pretty big jug of medicinal herb infused oil. Very big jug. And have been having a practice of doing an entire full body massage in the morning, and really giving myself love and compassion as I'm massaging out, all the creaky bits. And that's been really, really beautiful way of connecting with myself, and also the beautiful traditions in Ayurveda.
I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah. You inspired me with starting the morning with some dance too. It's like, I've done some sort of like, I love doing like the slower sensual dance in the evening before bed, because it's also like all the snaps, crackles, and pops and everything are really wild. But inspired me by trying to do that in the morning too. And we all have a sort of embodiment practice, definitely stretching or foam rolling, yoga, some combination of all of that too, before a meditation practice. But it's the dance element was such like a nice fun twist. So thank you.
Yeah.
Just to get in and to feel those parts, we're like, ooh, there's some tension there. Like our body holds so much tension, and that tension holds so much wisdom once we can like tune into it. So it's nice to have that variety of ways to tune into the wisdom of that tension, and tune into wisdom of the body, to even just feel where the tension is, because oftentimes I'm still not aware of even where I'm holding tension.
We all do some kind of meditation, and that looks like a lot of different things for us. For me, it's a seated meditation, and sometimes it'll be silent, sometimes I'll have music on, wordless music, and just seated. Sometimes I'll integrate like a little like somatic kind of tuning into my body. Sometimes I'll integrate little mantras for the day, and there are like some other really sacred things that I sometimes bring into my meditation practice that are just like
That sounds nice. I try to incorporate some journaling, some sort of reflection. So either just journaling what's coming to my heart that morning.
And I also have a meditation practice. I follow a Tibetan Buddhist lineage, and a lot of that all of it actually is somatic therapy, meaning it's very body-centric and body-focused, which I love for reasons we've already talked about. So I do oftentimes both laying down and seated meditation practice, typically starting with laying down, connecting with the earth, and then deeper into my whole spiritual practice, and then usually sitting up, but also it changes. So some days I'm waking up and I'm feeling really sluggish or sad, or there's an emotion under the surface, and I'll do like 40 minutes laying down, just really slowly adventuring into these parts of my body and seeing what's there. and trying to, hold space and converse with them. But always definitely involves some essence of sitting at my altar in the mornings after stretching with my little morning beverage, and journaling is a big one too. It's really just taking that time and space for intentionally connecting to myself, to ourselves, with a period of reflection, because like we said, that's really easy to spend days and weeks of just never giving ourselves that time.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I get some of my biggest intuitive hits when I'm in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Like the most, oh yeah, aha moments come in those quiet moments with myself.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we try to get outside at some point in the sunshine. Something that I've been doing since moving here with these two lovely chickies is they were going for walks every morning, and I was like, yeah. And especially here because people have such amazing gardens here, and so it's just so nice. My favorite thing, there is nothing like the rose bushes in East Bay. Ohlone
Really
territory,
spectacular.
there's nothing. I mean, the smell of these roses is unbelievable. I was never a rose fan just because it's so, I don't know, it's so cliche, and everybody's like, oh, give me a rose. No, these roses completely turned my perception of roses around. I mean, they're just so powerful, and you can really tune into the essence of these roses.
Living with the cycles of the sun, living with the cycles of the moon, they both impact us. They're both, in astrology, they're called our luminaries. They have the most impact on Earth and us as beings being a part of Earth. And it's something that, we talk about circadian rhythm, infradian rhythm, lunar rhythms, all the rhythms, all the cycles, aligning with those.
Yeah.
Which is also such a helpful reminder of just the ebb and flow of everything, right? Like we mentioned, or we want to mention at least, that there's no perfect routine, there's no perfect way to do it. There's always going to be some ebb and flow. Like I talked about the times where I wake up and I'm like, no, there's just, my morning walk is going to be at least 2 hours later than it normally is, or maybe it won't happen and I'm just going to be crying on Krish's bed. I don't know. These things change.
Yeah.
And it's all okay. It's just as long as we're dedicating some space and time for ourselves in the mornings, that really it all is going to fall into place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
What makes you feel good? What makes you feel nourished? What makes you feel juicy? That's what matters. It could look very different from what we do, as long as it makes yourself feel good.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to try and fail.
Yeah.
The amount of times that I tell myself, ooh, I'm gonna do a yoga practice today. And I start doing my yoga practice and my body's like, nope, you don't want to do yoga today. We want to run or go for a walk. Oh, okay, just trying and seeing what feels best for you, and it's bound to change. But we're giving ourselves that opportunity to listen and see what we need, what we want, and be able to change with it. Let's talk a little bit about what routines mean to us. So I know that routines, for me, my morning routine specifically, has been so key in me just really feeling tended to, and me feeling like I can show up as my full self for the rest of the day, and just participate, because I've given myself that dedicated time to myself. And without my routine, I feel it. My day feels a little sluggish, and I feel like, oh, I'm not really a part of this conversation right now. So it plays a big role in my day.
Absolutely. Likewise, and connecting to myself. I just remember back when I was working in corporate, and it would be wake up, get ready, go to work. And I was on my bike at 7:15 on my way to the financial district in San Francisco, and just the lack of spaciousness I had for anything, and connecting to myself, not really knowing where I was, how I was doing, not having those moments of reflection, it just felt like this stuck, stagnant energy all the time that was, I can look back on it now when it was really just so stifling on my being and my ability to express. So for me, these morning routines are just such a beautiful way to get embodied and connected and tap in and really nourish myself, so I can show up for my community and for myself and the things I have to do on a day-to-day basis.
Definitely. Those early morning corporate days were brutal. It's really easy to feel like you have so many responsibilities for a job that you need to do. I mean, I used to wake up and instantly jump on and finish checking emails starting at 5:30 in the morning. And by the end of the day, I had no energy left for myself. And this was a pattern that continued for years until I learned in my own self-exploration journey that I need to prioritize my needs. And it feels so small, but I promise you, it was so mind-blowing. And the first thing that came to me was, wow, I have no concept of what my needs are. And so every morning, I love the concept of starting the day for myself and for my needs, because it really does set the rest of the day up. It fills up your cup, so to speak, so you're able to hold space for other people. You're able to show up for your community. You're able to put energy into projects because you've already put energy into yourself.
Today we talked about what routines are, what routines mean to us, why we do them, and some bits of our practices in the morning. And again, the intention was just to inspire y'all to look at your mornings and how best can you nourish yourselves and find that quiet time.
Yeah, and something that's been so inspiring for us is just hearing each other's routine. I mean, as we've shared, like just learning each other's routines has inspired us to integrate some different things into our own. So just hoping that inspires you to do the same.
And share below. We would love to hear what your morning routine is. And don't be scared to share that it's not enough or it's too much or whatever the inner narrative is. We'd love to hear it all. All of it's inspiring. And that's how we can build community, is by sharing together.
Yeah. You're exactly where you need to be when you need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we love y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe.
Yes.
Share, like, put the alert on so that when we come out with our new videos, you get alerted. I got that on my phone today about our video that came out. And yeah, just keep commenting and participating in this journey with us. We're doing it as a community.
And we're learning as we go.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Yes,
we're doing it. Yes.
All right.
Taking up space with our routines, and our voices, and our uniqueness.
Yes.
Hear it, see it, feel it, get into it.
Nice. All right, guys. Thank you.